Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
He's absolutely Jason, he's absolutely gay. He'll absolutely brighten up the darkest rainy day. He's funny and loves movies, he's smart and he's a Jew. He's an actor and an activist and wants to hear from you.
Hey everybody, welcome to Absolutely Jason Stuart. You like my song?
I have two questions. Who's that singer? Because she was great. And who wrote that? And I love the song.
That's my friend Ashley Ashley Hunter Hirsch. And it's also with her, she wrote it with her husband, Dave Kirsch.
I love it.
And I said, hey, I'm doing this show. These are all the elements that I want in it. And they put it all in. I said I wanted it to sound sort of like a 60s kind of show.
That sound like some old Bob Newhart,
I wanted
Johnny Carson on radio type.
I wanted it to have a set of 60s Doris Day kind of thing.
I love it.
You're hashtagging me and licking me and tweeting me and tasting me and following me and, you know. So Alex and I have known each other for at least 20, 25 years.
We go way back. We go back like two old rocking chairs. That's how far back Jason and I go.
We started off together at the Laugh Factory.
When you had a ponytail.
Oh, my God. That was one of my hair incarnations.
Dude, I really remember that. Like even at the improv. Like,
you would have seen me. That wouldn't have been on stage. That would have been socializing. We must have hung out somewhere.
Hey, man, don't be saying that. Don't be putting me out there like, was that at a bar, Alex? No, I did not hang out at a bar with Jason. It was comedy clubs only.
Oh, God.
Jason's my boy.
I don't want to have sex with everybody. I don't want to have sex with every man. And
I always respected this dude, though. You know what it is like with us, Jason? It's like one of those people, like when you're friends with people, like it's different with guys versus women. A guy I could not see you for 6 years and just run into you and just pick up a conversation like we talked yesterday. Mm-hmm. Like when I saw you recently, was it 2 weeks ago?
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
At the Laugh Factory?
Yeah.
Dude, it's like we go back so far. I haven't talked to you in damn near 10 years.
No.
We just
Has
started
it been that long?
At least.
No, I saw you at a party. One of the parties.
You keep trying to put me at parties and bars with you, Jason.
Well, yeah, that's what you do. You're a party bar person. Another picture? How many pictures can I have? Stop. When does the party bar?
I'm taking selfies.
Oh, are you?
Oh, man, because I love myself.
Okay, you're gorgeous.
I love myself.
Okay, I'm very excited for you. So, the trajectory of your career has been really amazing. You started as a dancer in the hood. Am I correct?
I love a dancer in the hood.
Well, what do you want?
But you know what?
Hey,
you're
you're
right.
a dancer in the hood, man.
No, you're right.
I can talk like that. And you're going to say, what the fuck is he doing? But
No,
basically,
that is the truth.
because it's in your act. I mean, it's such a large part. And that's where you met a lot of the, I guess, the bigwigs in television.
Absolutely.
Because one of your first big jobs was being a choreographer on Living Color under the tutelage of Rosie Perez.
Absolutely. I can't lie. Yes, I was a dancer from the hood, born and raised in South Central L.A. Long story short, I'll try to make all my long stories short. From 15 to 20, I was on the world famous Soul Train. If you're over 30, you know about Soul Train.
The Soul Train.
Every single Saturday going down the line.
Weren't you impressed that I did that really good?
No, you did do that. Like,
and you
got a little soul in
you knew that because I know that
Of
show.
course, come on now.
It came on right after American Bandstand.
Absolutely. Basically, to the young people that are listening right now, Soul Train was the urban version of American Bandstand.
But if you look at it now, it's so white bread compared to what, I mean, come on. There's no slap that bitch.
Exactly. But for 15 to 20, yes, I was a break dancer / pop locking dude, and that was our way to kind of, let the world see you outside the hood. And long story short, that's where I met Rosie Perez. This was like 89, 90, kind of like 91-ish. And I became her assistant to the Fly Girls on a brand new TV show called In Living Color. And that's where I met Damon Wayans and Keenan Ivory Wayans. They were like, dude, you could dance your butt off, but dude, you're funny. Have you ever thought about doing stand-up? I was just always making all the dancers laugh, and Rosie was always going, yeah, we've been telling him he should be a comedian. And I said, do comedians get paid? And they were like, look at us. Next thing I know, a week later, I was doing stand-up comedy and dancing was done. Cause dancing,
Really?
dude, you know what it was?
You quit your choreographer job?
I quit my choreography job because I was like, okay, how long am I gonna be a dancer? How old? Even though I was like 20, 21 at that time.
It's a sport.
Yeah,
in a sense, because your body just sort of you can ruin your body.
Exactly. And the crazy thing about it, my last dance audition was Michael Jackson's "Remember the Time." Do you remember?
Of
Remember
course.
the time? And I couldn't.
Wait,
get
that was with Eddie Murphy, right?
Eddie Murphy,
And wait,
Magic Johnson,
Iman?
everybody, Iman.
Who am I?
Yeah,
That I
you're
can remember?
Jason
Stewart.
Stewart.
And here's a little bit of Michael.
Come on, man. He was the greatest of all
Can we
time.
see Michael? Oh yeah, there he is.
Absolutely. And my friend, her name was Fatima. So Fatima and all of us came up in South Central LA as dancers. She went on to be one of the greatest choreographers in all of hip hop history, from Michael Jackson to Madonna to the biggest to Britney Spears to Diddy. She ended up being one of the biggest choreographers ever. So we all started at the same time, and my friend that came up with the moves for that, Fatima, it was like I couldn't get it. We had 5 minutes to get this audition. And I had the hardest time ever. It's almost like you knew your dance career was over.
Oh God!
And a week later, I started doing
Were
stand-up.
you more improvisational than you were wise?
Very, very improvisational.
Yeah, I guess so. Well,
Versus,
that's also a talent.
in dance we call it freestyle.
Yeah.
And when
That's
I had
what I
to,
was thinking. Yeah. I was thinking about that.
when I had to get a routine and I really couldn't get it, I was like, okay, maybe I'm done with dancing. And 2 weeks later, I started doing stand-up, and the rest was history.
Wow.
But yes, when
Did you work at the Comedy Store?
Say it again.
Did you work at the Comedy Store?
Man, early in my career, I was very fortunate, man. Again, long story short, the riots, 1991. You remember South Central basically.
Oh God.
All of South Central was up in flames or whatever, right? So long story short, again, they had a riot relief comedy show at the Comedy Store in the main room. I had only been doing comedy maybe 6 months. And I ran into this young lady that was a brand new so-called trying to be a manager.
Who was that?
Comedian. Danielle Kennedy. She ended up being.
Oh, yes.
Remember Danielle? She
Danielle,
was Sully's
she wound
wife
up,
for years.
and she's Sully's wife now.
They just divorced after 15, 16 years or whatever.
I adored her.
But Daryl Heath and me were her first two clients. And she saw us performing at a church. After church, on a patio of a church, and it just happened to be a church that she was a member of, and she's like, you know what? I'm putting together a show at the Comedy Store. Mind you, we'd only been doing comedy 6 months. We were like, really? Oh my God, we'd loved it. We'd never been to the Comedy Store. We just heard about it, and then to jump to the main room. Who's on the show? Well, Martin Lawrence, Mark Curry, Chris Tucker, Damon Wayans, all these black stars, Jamie Foxx, like all these guys, Robert Townsend, all these people were trying to help,
That's the
LA.
creme de la creme of the black comedy. Right
Exactly.
there.
Let's try to help LA and raise funds to help South Central. And Daryl and I were the only two little amateurs there.
Daryl, hey, let's just be honest.
Daryl Heath.
Daryl and I, if I was going to have sex with anybody, it would be him. It would not be you. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, just
So
because
you
he had green eyes and he was pretty and he had
and he
curly
was built
hair.
like a brick shit house.
You remember that?
Oh, please! I remembered it. It was one of my spanks.
Oh my God,
Are you
Jason.
kidding? He was gorgeous.
Daryl, shout out Daryl. I love you, man. You best man in my wedding. Jason still loves you. So
From a
look.
distance.
Yeah, from a distance.
From a distance.
So we went on that show.
How
we
could
did
I
our
forget
little,
him?
Yeah, man. We did our little 6 minutes
And
apiece.
that brought you to be a regular at the Comedy Store.
Mitzi Shore was sitting in the back, and she saw us, and that's how we became regulars at the Comedy Store.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure you remember, Jason, at that time. Remember Bud Freeman and Jamie Masada and
three of them.
Mitzi. It was like Crips and Bloods. Like if you worked at the Laugh
Did
Factory,
not work at the other place.
you couldn't work at it. But since
Jamie
we,
didn't care as much.
Jamie didn't care
But
as much,
Bud
but
and Mitzi
Bud,
really did.
they were at war. But since we were amateurs and nobody knew who we were, we kind of ended up sliding in both and became like paid regulars at the Comedy Store, at the Improv at the same time. So
and
that's
nobody
how I
really
met you.
knew. Yes, at the Improv.
At the Improv.
I don't remember. I'm so affected
I met
by
you
my
at the
presence.
Improv. I met you at the Improv, and then remember we did like evening at the Improv together.
Yes.
The rest was
All
history.
that. Were we on the same shows together?
I think we were.
God, who remembers? You're really great.
I would always, for some reason, be on the same show. Remember
we
Ross
were on
Mark?
the same show for the longest time.
Remember
What?
Ross, the guy who used to
God, yeah.
book?
I just saw him the other day. I was doing Frank DeCaro's show on Sirius Radio, and I'm walking out.
Yeah.
It's like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning or something, and I'm walking out, and he goes, "You don't remember me?" I looked at him, I said, honey, I haven't even focused on your face. And he was the one that actually told me, said, hey, can you do your show? I remember because I had been at the Improv forever.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he'd call me all the time if somebody, fell out, and I was working there all the time. And I remember when he got the Tonight Show as the booker, I said, hey, I'd love to do the show. What's the possibility? He said, if you can do it without being gay, we could probably get you on.
If you could do it without being gay. That's like you said, Alex, if you could do the show without being black, you are on Tuesday.
I've never said that publicly, but it was true. And he said that, and I thought, and that's probably was around 2004 or 5. And I think it was around the early 2000s. I can't remember. And I just remember going, that's it. No more stand-up on TV shows. I'm not going to even try anymore.
Wow.
It really just cut me, and I started really working on my acting career.
So let me ask you this. I got a question for you.
Sure.
And only because you brought it up. I'm just curious. So if the money was right and people would offer you gigs, could you said that was Letterman or Leno?
It was
you said Tonight
Show. It was Jay Leno.
Jay Leno. So if he said, look, Jason, we want you to do 5 Minutes Tuesday, could you do a set without the gay content?
Oh, without being gay?
Yeah,
without
like,
saying I was
like
gay?
meaning for the money and the TV exposure?
I guess I could,
but
but why?
I hear it because it's
know
not
what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You wouldn't tell someone else to do it.
Yeah.
And I guess I could be. I could talk.
I was just curious, like, to
I
get
guess
the
I
money.
could talk about things that are outside myself.
Yeah.
But it was so... for me, being gay isn't what I talk about all the time, but it is sprinkled through my show about
because it's your life,
my own experience of who I am.
Yeah.
I don't think about it. I'd have to think about it, but at that time, I remember thinking, man, he doesn't want me.
No, exactly.
And I remember I had faxed back and forth with Jay a couple times in the 90s.
Because Jay knew you well too.
No, I don't know if he knew me well, but I knew that. He was open to having conversations with comedians, and Leah Delaria had done Arsenio Hall's show, and I tried to get on that, and it just was always a problem.
Remember Joy Dolce?
Oh, of course.
Remember, she's the one that used to book Arsenio.
Yeah, it was also Claudia Kagan.
Exactly.
Who went back when the show went back.
Wait, so let me ask you this.
Still
now,
couldn't
you got
get
me
on.
very curious about, okay, so at that time, Ellen DeGeneres hadn't come out yet. Right.
No, I came out in '93.
Were you the first, like, out of the comics too?
I was one of the first who came from the comedy clubs. Ellen came out in '96 after she'd already been a major star with her own show. But this is not about me. This is about you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We're going to take a break,
really
and we're going to come
right
back,
now.
and we're going to talk about Jamie Foxx and everything else that's going on with you. We'll be back in just a second with my friend Alex Thomas here trying to interview me on my show.
I know. I can't help it. I'm having so much damn fun.
All right, we'll be back in just a minute. Don't change that channel. Oh, my God, there's no channels to change. San Francisco, October 28th, historic Castro Theater, right down the block from where Harvey Milk had his camera store. And I'm going to be there, and so are David Milburn and Jeffrey Patrick Olson, Varla Jean Merman, Matthew Martin, and Mark Sargent, all of the cast, including the filmmaker, Billy Cliff.
Hi, I'm Frances Fisher, and you're watching Absolutely Jason Stewart on T Radio V.
So it's T Radio in a V?
Yeah, T Radio V.
I've been
TV
here 6
with
months.
radio.
Okay. So
in
the
between.
TV goes inside the
No, the radio's inside the TV.
And then, so it's both?
Yeah.
That's my show?
That's your show.
And you just did my show?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I'm so excited. I feel like we're crashing into a Titanic. Oh, sorry.
Hi, this is Danny Woodburn, and you're watching T Radio V. Did it come up? Is it all right? There we go. He's good.
Hi, this is Casey Abrams from American Idol, and you are watching T Radio V. That was too corny. I don't.
I loved it. You know what that music is from? That music is from Harlow.
It's a movie
Wow.
with Carol Baker about Jean Harlow, and it's called Girl Talk. And I'll never forget. It was just sort of da da da. And this thing. My mother said to me, "You're not gonna understand this movie. I don't know why you're watching it. It's on television."
Was that like the 40s or 50s?
It was well, the movie took place in the 20s, but it was on in the 60s.
Oh wow!
When I
okay.
was a little baby boy, and I was watching it around 1968, 69. I was a baby. I remember, and I love the movie. Anyway,
Wow.
back to you. So
Yes.
So did the Jamie Foxx show came from doing that one thing, or
Which one
indirectly
thing?
the one benefit relief show?
No, because that actually came later. I'd known Jamie Foxx for years from doing stand-up.
I remember him being around the clubs.
Oh yeah, been around the guys.
Hysterically
Yeah.
funny, but also not a real stand-up comic. He was more of
Entertainer.
Yes,
Singing,
music, singing,
yeah,
dancing.
yeah.
I mean, he was like really amazingly characters.
He came to LA to be a singer.
Right.
And ended up doing stand-up to get the ball rolling.
And becoming an Academy Award-winning actor.
Absolutely. He's a great guy. It's so funny because I've seen him from a $800 a month single apartment in Hollywood to a $27 million crib in Thousand Oaks right now. So I'm like,
$27 million.
his house
That's
is ridiculous.
crazy.
His elevator got an elevator.
Well,
It's
I have
crazy.
seen that naked picture of him that's all over the internet, and that's all I care about. You know what I'm talking about?
Shout out Jamie Foxx. I don't, but
Oh, it's
but I can
honey, it's
believe
all
it.
over the internet.
I can
Everyone
believe it.
right now, Jamie Foxx naked. Go ahead.
Wow.
It's a selfie. He
is
must
it
have,
something new?
No, it's been there for like 2 years.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
also in
I
my-
wouldn't know
it's
anything
also
about
in
any
my
naked
my
pictures,
spank
but-
bank.
Spank Bank or your boy file.
Yes, my boy file.
That's funny.
Yeah.
No, but I had a whole lot of fun working with Jamie.
How
every
many
day.
years were you on the show?
I was on the Jamie Foxx show for like 3 seasons.
Sully McCullough, Chris
Spencer. Yeah, we
love
had
a-
fun because we're all friends away from the show. And then people would, like, still to this day, the reruns run like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And people always say, man, did you guys even have a script? I mean, it just looked like you guys were ad-libbing and having fun.
And you were probably.
A lot. But he's a comedian, and Jamie was always cool with, hey, man, have
Same
fun.
thing on Damon Wayans' show. I used to play the shrink on that show. We would do one
Exactly.
show, and then we do another one, and they say, do whatever you want. And
Get
they
a couple of takes in the
And
can.
they always use the other one.
Oh, of course.
After a while, you think, yeah.
Real comics really enjoy the magic comes out when you're ad-libbing.
Mm-hmm.
And, we can be like regular actors and just strictly read the script. No, comics is like we get the gist of the script.
But sometimes they don't like it, too.
Of course.
You know what I mean? A lot of those guys who are comedians, they want you to do their jokes on their
course,
show.
of course.
And which I find much harder to do, because if it doesn't work, they dump it.
Of
they
course.
They don't let you work on it.
Here's the beauty of what used to be versus nowadays. Unfortunately, nowadays they don't have live audiences anymore. So me coming up in the days of the Jamie Foxx show, the Martin Lawrence show, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, we had live audiences.
Because you did Martin, you did, I mean, there wasn't
pretty
a
much every black show that was
the
on
Parkers,
TV in the 90s.
Girlfriends.
Yeah, all the black shows. Wayans Brothers, Living Single, anything that was black in the 90s,
Yeah, but
early
you did,
2000s,
you did
I
some
was on
other.
it.
You did some other.
I did some others,
Yes,
but
you
the
did.
majority was the,
Oh, my
the
God.
black TV.
You're right,
You know
you're
what I
right.
mean?
I'm
But
looking-
live audiences, as a stand-up comic, when you're in front of a live audience, right, you get to get that instant gratification. You know what works and you know what doesn't work, right? So remember, you've done live TV shows before. You do 2 or 3 takes, right? So what happens is we'd always do what the writers wrote. Get theirs out, get that in the can, get it nice and safe. And, of course, then the director would be like, now you guys have fun. You would hear from chuckles from what the writers wrote to thunderous fall out, oh my God, LOL,
Because there's
OMG
nothing
moments.
funnier than what's in the moment.
Exactly.
And sometimes it would be just physical.
Exactly. And that's
Yeah.
the stuff, like you said, that they would
Yeah.
keep.
Yeah.
So, not knocking the writers
No.
at all, because they get paid to do that. But like at Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, when I was writing on that show, those were people that wrote some of the biggest TV shows of all time. These guys are coming from Happy Days and Home Improvement, all these huge,
How'd you get that job?
great story. Ready?
Yeah.
So, I remember the
Do
date.
we have time? Okay.
I'm gonna make it quick. I think the date, it was July 7th, 1992. I went up to the Laugh Factory
This
on a
is before-
Tuesday.
This is before Jamie Foxx.
Oh, way before Jamie
Yeah,
Foxx.
yeah, that's just
Jamie
the
Foxx show
chronology
came
of it.
in 98.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I was there from 93 to 97. But I have one of those great right place at the right time type stories. People always say, did you go to school to write? Did you know you wanted to be a writer? Were you writing scripts? Did you submit scripts? I say, no, it went like this. It was a Tuesday. I sat in a 16-hour line out in front of the Laugh Factory with a lawn chair. If you know anything about comedy and you know anything
So
about
when you
that
want to
line,
work on the nights where you are not booked, you'd have to wait on the what they would call the amateur night.
It was amateur night. I've been doing comedy 6 months. I sat in a 16-hour line. I had a lawn chair just to go up and do 3 minutes. Well, I was one of the 10 amateurs that went up, and I went last at the amateurs. I did my little 3 minutes. Will Smith was sitting in the front row as close as you and I are right now. I got off stage. He was like, yo, you are really funny. My name is...
He said, yo?
He said, yo, you're really funny. My name is... I was like, I know who the fuck you are. I'm Alex Thomas. He goes, you're really funny. He goes, well, I have this new TV show. I was like, yeah, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I watch it every Monday. It had been on like a year at that time.
It was one of the biggest hits.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest.
Out the gate.
Yeah, it had been on for about a year. I said, yeah, yes, I watch it every Monday. He goes, well, do you write? I was like, well, I be writing and stuff. You know what I'm saying? He goes, do you think you could come down to the show and help us with some funny stuff like what I saw on stage tonight? I said, hold on, let me check my schedule. Yes, I can, right? He goes, when do you think you could come down? I'm like, motherfucker, now?
You didn't say that.
Can I get a ride with you?
Oh, you have a car.
And I caught the bus up there, and I was there the next day. I was there for 4 years. We became best friends. I did the last 3 seasons. I went on to help him with Men in Black, Independence Day. I rewrote and punched up a lot of his movies. So it was my first real check in Hollywood, and I always thank Will Smith. Will Smith, if you're listening, thank you, brother. That opened up all the floodgates for Alex Thomas. And then all the shows came after that. After that being such a hit, when everybody in Black Hollywood found out that I write and that I'm funny also, then that opened up a ton of opportunities.
Did you find that writing and acting, did you find there was a problem with it, or did you find it helped you? Or
helped me big time, because it made me well-rounded. It made me see that there's a lot of money in this business outside of just being in front of the camera. And I hate to say white and black, but a lot of times white comics know that and young black comics don't. What happens is with a young black comic, you're just trying to figure out a way you can get paid right now. You see these black stars that have became rich, you like, oh, if I tell some jokes, I'll get rich too? No, it don't happen like that right away. You need to find other ways. So I kind of showed a lot of the young comics in my generation that, oh, we can be behind the camera too? We don't just have to do stand-up? So I was kind of that example of...
That's what John Wrigley has been saying now with his show, American Crimes.
Exactly.
He's been saying, hey, it's not just what's about behind the camera, it's what's in front of the camera, it's what's behind the camera too.
Now, the difference between me and John Ridley, love him to death.
So you didn't get an Oscar.
Exactly. John, and I'm just being real when I say this, and this is not anything negative. John was never a great stand-up comic.
No.
Brilliant writer. Just was not a great stand-up comic. He was the type of dude, I'm just being real right now.
He was funny, but in a much, but I don't agree with you.
Couldn't do 2 minutes in a black room.
I
but
don't agree with you.
Myself.
So that doesn't mean he doesn't funny. It's a different kind of funny.
It's a different kind of funny.
So we have this whole thing. It's like I used to follow Sam Kinison all the time at the Comedy Store, and I could do it for like 10 minutes, ripping myself apart.
Right.
But he stuck to himself in the same way Margaret Cho did, or Kathy Griffin, and those people. They said, I'm doing me. The audience come to you. And what he that's what he did. The audience came to him, and it moved him going, hey, this isn't really what I want to do. What I really want to do is tell stories.
Exactly. But here's the thing.
But he still was funny.
It's a different rhythm, though. What happens is, and I know you know this.
Oh, yeah.
You know that. It's 2 different rhythms in 2 different worlds too. Don't get me wrong, funny is funny.
Yeah, but it's all.
Like a
but
black comic. Some black comics can't do white rooms.
But it's
some white comics can't do black rooms.
It's not just black and white. It's you and I are very similar. We're crowd pleasers.
Absolutely.
And there are crowd pleasers and there are come to me comedians.
Exactly.
And some of them saying, this is my story. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You come to me.
Yeah.
Oh God, what was his name? Really cool. Car Wash.
Franklin Ajay.
Franklin Ajay.
Great example.
They came to him.
They came to him, but here's the difference. John Ridley, he's crazy. He's black, but he didn't have that so-called black rhythm. So what happened was...
Well, I have a black rhythm, and I'm not black.
No, but you're funny, and black people get the gay thing.
I did the comedy act for years.
And you used to kill.
Or die slow immediately.
But you were one of those type of white dudes, because I remember this.
I didn't care.
You didn't give a fuck. You're going to love me or you're going to hate me, but I got some shit to say. That's why I always respected you.
I didn't know that I was supposed to be scared.
No, but I respected you, because I was like, for this white boy to come down here and be in front of these brothers and do what he's doing, we had to respect that. We always respected white dudes that can come and do
I was also
room.
on Star Search at the time, so everybody thought, oh my God, the guy from
That's
Star Search.
the dude from Star Search, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's just funny, man. It's just 2 different rhythms. Like John Ridley, I witnessed it myself. He's one of those dudes, and I'm not mad at him when I say this. he's one of those dudes that kind of said, you know what? I don't have to do these black rooms. I'm going to stick with these white rooms. I'm going to get paid, and I'm going to be super clever, and I'm going to kill. If you saw him do the Comedy Act Theater, if he went up at Def Comedy Jam, you would think this dude's been doing comedy 2 days.
But it does show that there are different kinds of black comics.
Oh, of course. Like my boy Sully, who we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Love Sully to death. Sully was not a black man that did black rooms. I was always the type that the same way I kill in a black room, I'll do an all-white room in Montana and kill them because of my energy. And I was never...
Stop yelling at me!
I was just... Oh, am I loud? Oh, I'm sorry. I was just always the crazy black dude that just funny. I wasn't... Oh, I'm just like, yeah, I'm black. You see I'm black. But I looked up to Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor.
Oh, yeah.
They were just funny people, black or white. It didn't matter the color. And that's what I looked up to. I want to be able to go to any room and just make people laugh. You know what I'm saying?
Let's take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk with Alec Thomas here, or as I like to call him, Alex Thomas, but Alec is occasionally with...
Alec, A-L-E-C. Some people, I don't know why they say that.
But
Have you been drinking?
No, just a little.
Okay.
No, of course not. We're going to take a break. We're going to be right back. Please stay with us, and we're going to talk about how comedy has really changed from when we started until now, how it's really different on the road, being a road comic. We'll be back in just a minute. Please stay with us.
Brad is actually here right now.
I don't have the white disease.
Whoa! Give me that. I want to see like some tiny intro. Give me some boom. Give me some boom, bro. This is gonna make us money.
Ask Robert who his favorite celebrity animals are.
His animal lovers.
All right, everybody, whip your out. Everybody, whip it out. We'll be right back. See, now it's...
Let's do a couple things. Ready?
Action.
Or who may be
monsters!
performing.
Monsters!
You.
Oh, that means me.
It's gonna take the unreal mind.
To be honest with you, I like being down there a little more because my head was...
Candy corn monsters, boom!
Hi, I'm Kristen Renton, and I don't know what I'm saying. This one's World Animal News.
Right, here we go. Oh, I'll just... It's not a real wall.
I mean, unless you fake it. I had a contest on night calls, and they were all peeing everywhere. Everyone's like, can I get another Diet Coke? Yeah.
We want to do more.
Hey, what's up? I'm Casey Abrams from American Idol. You're watching Absolutely Jason Stewart on T Radio V. It's a good take, right?
You sounded like you were completely like in a trance, like you were...
Did you feel it? Did you feel the vibes?
And what's with the fakakta hair?
You don't like
You're
it?
a Jew, are you not?
Yeah, well,
yeah.
Hey,
your mother would be so upset.
You shouldn't be taking...
I know. Look at everyone. Look at the back of this hair. Dear God, get a brush. Get a brush. I'm Jason Stewart. We're on T Radio V. TV and the radio with the hair sticking out like some sort of homeless person.
Listen, I'm sorry I have hair.
Hey, we're back at Absolutely Jason Stewart, and Jake has told me to stop screaming.
And mind me, because I'm very loud, and if I'm
too loud
in your ear holes.
So tell us the difference. Tell us the difference between, in the day when both of us were headlining everything from the Improvs to the Funny Bones to all the clubs, and what's changed. I find that it's the only business where you can make less money than you did when you started. I mean, because it doesn't seem like the same people are coming to comedy clubs anymore, to me.
Well, it's a different generation now, and if you stay relevant, my ear stays to the streets. Like Steve Harvey just came up to me recently. He's like, Alex, I don't know how you do it. He go, I ain't got shit to say to a motherfucker 25 and younger, because his ear isn't to this younger generation. I happen to be a over 40 dude who stays fly, who stays young, who stays hip, and I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I'm not one of those dudes that's my age that's acting 60. You know what I mean?
Oh, we need to lie down. That's because I'm exhausted.
I stay fly.
No, I'm a fly too.
Yeah. He said, I'm a fly too. Oh, by the way, hit me on Instagram, everybody. Funny man, Alex Thomas. Now, what were you saying?
My JSSTU 59. So yeah, that's and I'm fly.
Twitter, I am Alex Thomas. Now, what were you saying?
At Jason_Stuart.
Gotta always throw that out there. Yes.
Yeah. Just go to jasonstuart.com, STUART, and you can see all of my social media and get it all. But all you have to do is click on. You don't have to do anything. And you are I am Alex
Thomas. Because Twitter came out first, and then when Instagram came around, somebody took the name or whatever. So that's why it's Funny Man Alex Thomas on Instagram.
A lot of the comedians do that. That's a good thing to remember. So how do you find it different? Because you're doing tours, you're not doing clubs, right?
Well, I do both. Wherever there's money and checks.
Right.
Children's parties, pool parties, barbecues.
See, I'm Jewish. I can't do that. My mother won't have me at a pool party or a children's party. It's just not going to happen.
Check out Alex Thomas on the diving board at Quincy Jones Mansion on Saturday. No, but I've been very lucky. One of my hustles, which a lot of people don't realize, was people always ask me, they go to my Instagram and they're like, oh my God, you know every NFL and NBA superstar. How are you friends with Michael Jordan? How are you friends with Magic Johnson? How does Allen Iverson to Dwayne Wade?
Who's Allen Iverson?
How do you know all these people? So my hustle for years, Jason, you probably didn't know this, was turns out that all these pro athletes always loved my act and they were following me and I didn't even know it, right? So all pro athletes in all team sports have foundations, right? Foundations, whether it's, Save the Children or breast cancer or whatever it may be, they all have foundations and they all do golf tournaments. Whether they golf or not.
I know, that's what's so weird.
They do golf tournaments. Why? Because their agents are like, look, a quick way for you to raise $500,000 this weekend, do a golf tournament. If you don't play golf, walk around with a club and look like you play golf. I happen to be the Black Bob Hope. I am the Black Bill Murray. I just happen to be a comic that plays golf.
Do you do a clean show for them?
Oh, no, well, actually, let me finish. I'm the ghetto Tiger Woods. They call me Inglewoods. Okay, so what happened was once it got out to one superstar athlete, the next thing I know, I was doing the 10 to 15 professional athletes golf tournaments, hosting and playing them every year. So I got free golf and I got paid to host. Now, these dudes will pay me more for 1 hour of work than an improv, a funny bone will pay me for 6 shows.
No, of course.
So I was making 6 figures, $200,000-$300,000 a year just from my pro athletes hosting their golf tournaments and their foundations. So that was always a hustle of mine for years.
Well, I should have done that.
Well, that's not something you could have just went out and did.
It's just the sports people don't know me, but the lesbians do.
Hey, they got money too.
And they love golf.
You know what I'm saying? But to answer your question, what you said earlier, how the game has changed, if you stay relevant, it really wouldn't bother you. So basically what I'm trying to say is, this younger generation that's so politically correct, like you probably heard.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry Seinfeld talking about that. I feel like if you stay relevant and your material kind of evolves, you won't have that problem. Because guess what? I'll go to the Improv tomorrow night in West Hollywood and kill them, and then go do Mississippi State the next day and kill them with a completely different set. Instead of complaining, instead of being like, you guys don't get my stuff, because I've seen comics do that, just have a set for the kids.
But that isn't what I meant, though, in the sense, because I find that most really good comedians are relevant and are writing. I mean, we're all writing stuff all the time.
Of course.
Because things are happening to you, but your life is different.
Yeah.
And I find but the business has changed in terms of how the clubs do their work. And I think that people don't come to the clubs in the droves that they used to.
Because of social media.
Yeah, I think social media is ruining it, because you can see the clips and you can see the YouTube and you can see everybody's things. There are no more stand-up shows on TV.
It's funny you brought that up, because we just talked about that last night.
That show Laughs, which is non-union and nobody should watch and nobody should do.
Exactly.
It's on Fox.
No, exactly. I went up at the Ha Ha Cafe last night and we were just sitting around talking about how the game has changed. And to
Beautiful club.
No, I love it.
It's a new one. For those
it's the
in
new
Hollywood.
one.
Yeah, I'm going to
shout out to Jack, the owner.
Yeah, I'll be there Friday night at the 9 o'clock show.
Great room. But to address what you were saying, we were talking about that. So what happens is this. Now in the age of a 6 to 15 second clip on Instagram from a young so-called comedian that has 6 million followers, he's going you know what? If I can get people to follow me and I can get paid for 6 to 15 seconds, what do I need to go to a comedy club for and waste my time for 30 minutes to an hour? And here's my answer to that. The art of stand-up comedy, the stuff that you and me, blood, sweat, and tears over 20 years, working out, trying new jokes, risking it, not working, it worked, it might not work, that's still an art form and that's never going to go anywhere. I don't care how huge.
It's completely different being in the room.
Exactly. And you know, I just don't like when people call themselves comedians and they don't have 30 minutes to an hour. And they can't feature or they can't headline because guess what? You have to work to get to that level. Just because you're funny for 6 to 15 seconds on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook does not make you a comedian. And yes, to go back to what you said, it affects the booking process. Because they go, well, yeah, this younger generation that doesn't have the attention span, they don't have the attention span to sit there and come out to buy a ticket for 30 minutes to watch you 30-minute hours.
Or the money.
Or the money. So why I can just sit on my device now and laugh my ass off all night for 6 to 15 seconds. But I don't look at it like that's gonna stop me from doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna still stay relevant, I'm gonna still keep my ass on stage, and I'm gonna continue selling tickets. I sold out everywhere I've been through this year, so I'm gonna keep it going. Last week, Denver Improv, 6 shows, sold out. Selling out 6 shows in Europe.
You're touring with, who you're touring with? Tell us who.
Well, you know what, it's not even the same crew of people, man.
Okay, because you're touring with, let's talk about your show. You were on Mr. Box Office with Bill Bellamy, Vivica Fox, and John Lovitz for 3 years.
Yeah, man, 45 episodes. It just ended.
Which is...
it was a great run.
What channel was it on?
The CW network. It's syndicated, so every city's different, and it's different. So check your local listings.
And a wonderful comedian himself and producer, Byron Allen.
Byron Allen, who created the show, who executive produced the show, who gave us all these opportunities. He was a comic himself, so he understood. Tim Meadows was on the show also. Ladies' Man, Saturday Night Live.
Mm-hmm.
So Tony Roberts. It was just a great... It was a great, but you know how it is. Work gets you work. You get on to the next project.
What was it like to be on a show for 3 years?
It was great,
Is
man.
it very different than because this show you were on from the get-go?
Absolutely.
Whereas Jamie Foxx's, you were more recurring.
I came in, recurring, and I came in at the end of that.
And you weren't on the show all the time. Where this show, this is like your show.
Absolutely. It was great just being around a bunch of comics. Bill Bellamy, John Lovitz, who I've looked up to for years, being a Saturday Night Live legend, ended up being one of his best friends. I learned a lot from these guys. Just like I learned a lot from Will Smith, I learned a lot from Jamie Foxx, I learned a lot from John Lovitz. Surround yourself with people who have as much, if not more, because that's the only way you can step your game up.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We're going to talk about your new film, Grandma's House. We'll be back in just a moment here with Alex Thomas here on Absolute Jason
Funny
Stewart.
Man Alex Thomas on Instagram.
Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Valerie Landsberg, and most people know me as Doris from the television series Fame. You're watching Absolutely Jason Stewart on T Radio V. You're watching Jason Stewart on TV Radio V. Fame.
Should we jump in there with the last one?
Andy D on T Radio V. Bing, bang, bing, boom, right?
Yeah.
Andy D on T Radio V. Bobbity, bibbity, bobbity, boo. Andy D on T Radio V.
The Andy Dick Show, Wednesdays from 4 to 6 p.m. on T Radio V.
Wow!
But we'll do it better when the show actually starts.
Yeah, no. Hey, my fellow thoughters out there. I'm Charles Shaughnessy. Check out my new show, Here's a Thought, with Charles Shaughnessy, August the 7th, 3 p.m. PST, right here on T Radio V. Now, you know I have a lot to say, but I want to hear what you have to say. So tune in, grab your phones, call me, tweet me, email me in the studio, and let's get this conversation going. Here's a Thought, starting August the 7th, 3 p.m. PST, right here on T Radio V. That's radio in TV.
I'm Zoe Williams.
And I'm Dr. Mark Goulston. I'm Jeff Brown.
And we make up the Zoe What Morning Show. You can find us here on TRadiov.com every Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I make you think.
He makes you laugh, and if I get a chance, I'll help you change.
Or make you cry with his attempts at humor.
Radio in TV.
Can you relate? We'll make it happen.
Look at you. What you doing?
Were you mumbling to yourself?
Hey, back there mumbling.
To them.
Hey, we're back here at Absolute Jason Stewart.
We're just talking and having fun.
Jake
doing
is
what
like,
we do.
hey.
Well, the beautiful thing about your show, you can talk about whatever you want and
Well,
however you want to do it.
So, and thank you, Jake. I'm going to be at the Ice House this Saturday night, which is the 17th in Pasadena, California, and in North Hollywood, California, Friday night. I'll be at the Ha Ha Cafe. Please come. Go to jasonstewart.com, STUART. And if they want to find you, Alex, where do they go?
If they want to find me, they can get me at a few places.
What's your website?
You know what? I'm revamping it right now, so I'm not gonna tell you.
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell them that because I got a couple surprises. But in the meantime and in between time,
I
am Alex Thomas. That's Twitter, and then my Instagram, Funny Man Alex Thomas, and my hashtag is The Funny Don't Stop, because that's what it's about.
Tell me how you get your work. How do you go about doing it? Because we were talking about agents
Hustle.
before. And we're saying that agents and managers, it's really hard to get people to do things.
Man. It ain't what it used to be. You know what I mean? I feel like if I didn't hustle, I'd be homeless. I'm just being real. I have one of the top agents.
And you just got married.
Yeah, man. Baby got to eat. Wife got to eat. Shout out to Halo. That's my little daughter. She's 5 months old on Thursday. Her name is Halo. Alexandria Thomas. My lovely wife, Brazy. We've been together 10 years, married 1 year, and the baby came 9 months later. We didn't waste any time. She got pregnant that night.
At least you waited to get married.
But she got pregnant that night.
Wow.
We celebrated.
Oh my God.
You ever heard of Pelican Hill, Newport Beach?
Yes.
That's where we got married. It was a beautiful wedding, and I'm a happy man. I'm in a different place now, Jason, than the young dirty whore that I was for a lot of years. I'm not that dude anymore, man. I'm so focused.
It happens.
I'm focused on my life, my wife, and my baby, and taking it to the next level. You know what I mean? And to be celebrating over 20 years in this business and to still be relevant, because I'm pretty sure it's the same in your world. How many guys did you start out with that are nowhere to be found?
Oh, tons.
Whatever the reason may have been, drugs, gangs, jail, baby mamas, child support, whatever the reason was.
Or just
life.
Too hard.
Too hard. This business is built for you to lose, built for you to not still be
They
here.
don't want you, they don't need you.
Exactly. And I always look at it like this, and I'm telling the young guys, I was telling the Kevin Harts and telling the Mike Epps and the Cat Williams, all the dudes that came after me, I tell them all, this is a marathon, not a race. You don't jump in this game to shoot your wad and be done. I'm trying to make a legacy out of this. So when I'm gone, they'll be like, Alex Thomas was one of the funniest dudes to ever do
I
it.
think of it differently. I think of it as just being an artist and trying to do the best work that I can do.
Yeah.
And also try to have a good time while I'm doing it.
Exactly.
Now, you're acting a lot too.
Exactly.
So you just did this TV show on
the movie.
TV One called Family Time.
Oh yeah, Family Time. That actually airs on Bounce TV. So wherever you are, Bounce TV is like second to BET in the urban market now. They just beat out TV One. Couple of million households now a month are watching Bounce
Who would
TV.
think?
Yeah, no, exactly. So that's coming up. It's called Family Time, and that's coming up later on this month. So
and how about let's talk about Grandma's House.
Grandma's House.
Now, how'd that come about?
That came about, man. I just did a new series on the UMC channel. It's called the Urban Movie Channel. The channel's owned by Bob Johnson, billionaire Bob Johnson, who was the original owner of BET.
Right.
And he also owns the Charlotte Bobcats now. So he has a new network called UMC.
What's the Charlotte Bobcats?
In Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, it's a
NBA basketball team.
Oh, it's a basketball team.
Yeah, him and Michael Jordan own the team. You're like, there's Bobcats in Charlotte?
I don't know. I thought it was a production company.
No. So Flex Alexander, you know who Flex Alexander is?
No.
He's a comedian, and he just did a comedy series, and the dude that
I thought he was a basketball player.
No, but the director of the comedy series came up to me. He's like, Alex, I'm a big fan of all your movies and TV shows. I'm doing a film. I got some big names attached. I would love if you came and played the role. Loretta Devine.
Love her.
Who is in a lot of she's a legend in the game.
Oh, man. Original Dream Girl.
Come on now, Jason. You know
Emmy
what's
winner
up.
for Grey's Anatomy.
You already know.
And she's on the new show, the Carmichael Show.
Exactly. She plays my grandmother in this movie. We just actually did the table read yesterday, and I started shooting on Monday.
Wow. What do you play?
So I'm Uncle Earl. I'm you know.
She plays your grandmother?
She plays my grandmother. Yeah.
How's that?
Man, you got to see the movie.
Who's your mom?
My mom is Wendy Raquel Robinson. She was in a lot of movies. And TV. She was on the Steve Harvey Show for years.
Okay, cool.
She's been in a lot of films. Flex Alexander's in it. We got this new little Disney star. Her name is Coco Jones. She's like the Black Hannah Montana.
Okay.
You know, she's one of the young kids in the movie. But it's a great film. It's one of those feel good. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of them urban movies. When we say Grandma's house, when you know Grandma's house is where it all went down. Grandma's house is, you know, all the problems that everybody's having in the family, the baby daddies, the jail, the drugs, this and that. Everybody can go back to Grandma's house.
And what do you play?
To
Other than you're the uncle, what kind of character?
I'm the uncle, the loser ass, in and out of jail.
Ooh,
drug,
so
alcoholic.
this is not your usual.
It's not my usual, so I'm not the funny guy in
And we
this.
got to talk about this then.
Well, I love doing roles where I'm not always funny. I get it, don't get me wrong. God bless me to be funny. Hashtag the funny.
Oh, you're
don't
not
stop.
funny in this?
No, I'm not. I mean, there might be a few things that I say that might make you giggle, but just put it this way. Some traumatic things happen to me. I'm not going to give the movie
So
away.
it's a comedy drama then?
It's majority drama.
Okay.
And with a small tad bit of comedy relief. But I always like to show that, yes, you know me as the funny guy, but to show those acting chops, like in Just Married with me and Ashton Kutcher. And rest in peace, Brittany Murphy. I was serious in that movie. I wasn't funny in that.
Played his best friend?
Yes,
Yeah.
and in the studio. So I just like to do things that just kind of go, whoa, Alex
Who do you
Thomas.
want to work with? Who do you want to work with?
Oh, my God. Who do I want to do?
Because you've not done. You haven't worked
Leonardo DiCaprio, damn it.
Really? Oh.
Tom Hanks, okay? People that I look up to. You know who was one of my favorites of all time, rest in peace? Just didn't happen, but I would have loved.
Who?
Robin Williams. He was one of my favorites of all time, and I would have loved to work with that guy. But, yeah. So I'm just trying to broaden my horizons, Jason.
Mm-hmm. No, I get that. I
You
get
know?
that. Me too. Always.
But the
Always.
funny don't stop. That's never going to stop.
No, but so...
that's why we're here, Jason.
Well, yeah, I think so.
Comedies would open up all the doors for us.
I guess so, yeah. I always think, part of me thinks that, it's a plus and a minus at the same time.
Yeah.
Because...
a gift and a curse.
Exactly, because it's a kind of job it never ends. You're always thinking, like the other day, I was doing one of these little hole-in-the-wall places, writing some new material.
Oh, yeah, man.
I
love the hole-in-the-walls.
I said, what did I say? I said, I'm dating this guy, and he hasn't called me back. He wanted to go with me, and I feed the homeless once a week on Thursdays. You can catch me in Santa Monica, feeding the homeless every Thursday night. And I said he was going to come with me on one of the dates, and I guess he's not coming. So, well, fuck those homeless people. I guess they're not going to get anything to eat now.
I love you, dude. It's the same one with me. You brought up a great point where guys like us that have been doing this over 20 years, you still have to work out and hit those holes in the walls. Like I tried a new joke last night, something that actually happened to me yesterday, and I had to take it to stage last night. So I'm just gonna ask you, how long you been living in L.A.?
Oh God, since I was a baby boy.
So you know about these potholes in these streets?
Oh yeah.
You've hit a pothole before.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It pissed you off, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I hit a pothole coming up La Brea yesterday. It was so deep, it felt like I flew off a bridge. Okay, it cracked my rim, busted my tire, and I farted at the same damn time. Okay, that's how deep the damn pothole. I felt like calling the governor from right there. You know what I mean? You take these kind of things, you take it to the stage. You'll take an idea, and then you expound. It'll be an idea that maybe only 10 seconds turns into a 10-minute joke.
Right, we were talking about on the break here. We were talking about the idea. If you're a comedian, whatever you say is funny. There's no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
Your job as a comic is to set up the joke so the audience knows where you're coming from.
Absolutely.
You can't just talk and just hopefully they'll get it. It doesn't work like that. It's a setup. Well, we're getting near the end. This is sort of great. So if anybody wants,
so fast.
I know it's like 2 seconds. Please, if you need to get a hold of Alex for any reason and you can't remember any of his things, just go to jasonstuart.com, STUART.
Yes.
And I'll hook you up with him. I thank you
the
so
link.
much. Oh,
you
yes,
put my link up?
A link,
okay,
a
cool,
link,
cool.
a tweet, a lick, a taste,
Yes,
a bite,
yes.
a nibble, a little.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being on.
Man, I'm happy you invited me, man. This was really fun, and congratulations. You keep up the good work yourself, man.
Oh,
and
yeah. Next year, The Birth of a Nation.
Come on, man. That's how we do.
Yeah, and next year, Grandma's House.
Grandma's House.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Oh.
The black handshake.
Okay.
And pull away and snap.
Oh.
One more. What, ready? Pull away.
Oh.
Snap. There we go.
Oh, God, I'm so black. Okay. I'm so affected by my blackness.
Well, you
Okay.
bald-headed like me, so goddamn it. Yes, you are black.
Yeah,
you light-skinned.
Oh, God, yeah. Well, okay. And we're done.
You are watching T Radio V. Radio and TV.